his presence. And he said, let them make me a sanctuary that I may dwell among them. Yahweh God never said that he won, but he says in Exodus 33, he said, these are stiff-necked, unruly people, that in their unruliness I have to depart. He was so generous that he says, for thou art a stiff-necked people, lest I consume thee in the way. So Yahweh God said, your stiff-neck and your ability to not to carry out the rules, I will consume you. So he told him that he would not go. He said, for Yahweh has said unto Moses, say unto my son Israel, ye are stiff-necked people, I will come in the midst of thee in a moment and consume thee. Therefore, now put off all thy ornaments from thee, that I may know what to do unto thee. And Yahweh God, as we read the story, he said, and I will send an angel before thee, and I will drive out the Canaanites, the Amorites, the Hittites, and the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites, unto a land that floweth with milk and honey, for I will not go up in the midst of thee, for thou art stiff-necked people. So, unless we chasten our ways, unless we do what is right in the eyes of our God, for our own good, he retrieves from us so he can do us the best good. That's a righteous God. Because he said, I love Israel. They're my portion. Yahweh loves us. And as we see, even in Hosea, Yahweh God tells us some great and awesome things that we can tell our children, that all that they see, Yahweh God has not let our hand go. And this is a beautiful thing. And this is why we have to know, no matter what we have to know, it is true. Because we will perish in this society that will give us nothing. They're not going to give you anything. So for you to have the knowledge of this, and you didn't go to their schools to get this, this is your knowledge. Yahweh God, Hosea chapter 6 verse 15, he goes on, Hosea chapter 6, okay, we have to, it says here, I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offenses and seek my face, and their affliction they shall seek me early. And Yahweh said that he will go to his place. He said, I'm going to go to my place till they acknowledge their offenses and seek my face. In their affliction, they will seek me early. In other words, they're going to come, and they're going to be so lost that they're going to, after trying everything, they're going to try the ultimate thing and return back to their God, because everything else is going to fail. Nothing, no matter what God they call on. But for those of us that know the true God, we will know that we will have the absolute truth of the safety of Yahweh God. It also says in Deuteronomy 31 verse 16, and Yahweh said unto Moses, behold, thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, and this people will rise up and go a-whoring after the gods of the strangers of the land, whether they go to be among, and will forsake me and break my covenant which I have made with them. Did you hear what he said? He said, they gonna leave me, Moses. They're gonna forsake my covenant. Then my anger shall be kindled against them in that day, and I will forsake them, and I will hide my face from them, and they shall be devoured, and many evils and trouble shall befall them, so that they shall say in that day, are not these evils come upon us because our Elohim is not among us? See, we're striving for the presence of our God, so that he would be in the midst of us, among us. And that's why Yahweh God said, he said, man, they're going to break my covenant. And I'm going to fix them. I'm going to hide my face from them. And they're going to have a many of trouble. That's right. You see them, they out there, they're having a many of trouble. Because them brothers on 125th Street, no matter what people said, they have been a visual presence to agitate a curiosity for the people to seek the true and living God. They might say a lot of things against them, but they were a force to come forward and say certain things that will get the attention of the people. But they were irritants because of their deliverance was so hostile in many instances, and people understood they were right. They understood they were right. But they did not want the militant aspect of their deliverance, because I had a friend that said the Spirit told him, said, they're telling the truth, but I don't want you being taught by them. That's right. A friend of mine told me that. Said they're telling the truth. But as far as the being militant and hating, you don't have to hate. All you got to do is tell the truth, because everybody that will hear the truth will hate you. So, Yahweh God told him. But it's so beautiful as we read Yahweh God told that we broke the covenant. And Zechariah, he makes so many mentions. Zechariah chapter 2. Zechariah chapter 2. He makes great mention. And you know, Yahweh God is a great God. He understands our nature, but it's for us to understand it. We have to seek in this book. Zechariah 2 verse 8.
But thus saith Yahweh of hosts, after the glory he had, he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. For he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye.
Yeah, what it said, thus said Yahweh, the God of hosts, after the glory has he sent me unto the nations. This was a proclamation, a statement from God that was given to Zechariah to say to the nations which spoil you. For he that touches you touches the apple of God's eye. Man, you precious in the eyes of God. Do they know what they're doing? Should we not tell them who we are? Go ahead.
For behold, I will shake mine hand upon them, and they shall be a spoil to their servants.
That's right. See, who are the servants? Aren't we serving America? We pay us taxes. Do they treat us right? No. Do they educate our kids with an education that is relative to themselves? A man is never educated with another man's knowledge. A man is educated when he has a knowledge of himself, then he can learn about other people. You're not an educated man just knowing somebody else's knowledge. You're an educated man when you know your knowledge, and then you know somebody else's knowledge. But you ain't educated. I don't care whether you have a PhD. You have no knowledge unless you know who you are. So he says that you are the apple, and he says that, and they shall be a spoil to their servants. Go on.
And ye shall know that I know that Yahweh of hosts hath sent me. Sing and rejoice, O daughter of Zion. For lo, I come, and I will dwell in the midst of thee, saith Yahweh.
So Yahweh is going to come back and dwell in the midst. And many nations shall be joined to Yahweh in that day, and shall be my people. And I shall dwell in the midst of thee, and thou shalt know that Yahweh of hosts has sent me unto thee. These are the prescribed statements of our God to bring us into harmony with his spirit, that he will come back and dwell among us. Our power is in his presence, that he will dwell with us and not leave us in the hands of such cruel people. Let us go to Zephaniah. Zephaniah, we don't have to see. I'm going to tell you boys, you gentlemen and young women, you're going to need this information. This information is going to be the only information. See, I be trying to tell y'all, these are the things to soothe you and to know that there's a better day coming. Don't get caught up in Esau's world because he tell you, man, doomsday is here. It's his doomsday. It ain't your doomsday. But see, you're going to get caught up in his doomsday. He ain't never thought about you. Where did you sit at the table and make global mandates and policies? You don't sit at no table and make nothing of this. Where? You ain't there. I ain't talking about you see one black person. God knows. I'm talking about you as a nation of people representing your nation as being Israelites, sitting, mandating, making proclamations, and structuring this planet. You're not there. That's why I said, lo, they shall dwell alone and not be recognized. You ain't recognized in this, not here. Your flag ain't flying down in the UN. Your flag is not there. You have no recognition among these people. When you tell them, now there are those that know you are the true Israelite. They know. They look at you and throw your head up. Why? Because you're God. Because you deserted the commandments. But when you take all the commandments, they know who you are, believe me. Those that in power, they hear you. But they said, since he believed in God, let God help him. And Yahweh God is helping us because his world is in trouble. His world is in trouble. Bridges are falling down. That ain't all that's going to happen. Buildings going to fall down. This collapse and they ain't going to know what happened. What happened? Because that's it. His inner structure is going to begin to decay. Because he has put his hands on the chosen people of God. But people don't believe that. Long as they eating colored television, central air, people don't want to hear that. He going to be right because he's prosper. Who is the person that stood out in our community? The drug pusher that had the pretty cars. Even the women liked him. Oh, he's pushing drugs. She should have nothing to do with him, but he got money. So he's the gleaming light, the beaconing light in the community. Because he got money. He can wear his pants down, his drawers down, and he'll take a person that has on a tie and dress going to school. She won't even look at him. Because she said, he can't offer me nothing, but the guy that's offering his community the worst poison that he's pushing, she's waving his flag. You'd be surprised the power that women have. That if the women didn't deal with him, the chances are he would stop because he's doing it to catch her attention. And he does catch your attention. He got shiny cars, nice clothes, jewelry on. He got money. Oh, hello. Oh, I won't have nothing to do with him. Her girlfriend said, girl, he got money. They don't care how he got it. He got money. They can't say nothing about rap music without looking at the women that dance on it. And they're talking about the rap. The rap, as long as the rappers did not force them to shake and do all that stuff on there, you cannot make the rap music the victim. When the women have themselves consented to do that, all they got to do is stop doing it. But they want to what? They want to show what's under their dress. Because the body of a woman is to be desired. And therefore, she throws her hair around. She takes real little tight little things and bend over in front of the pictures. These are private things of her anatomy that she should keep private, but she reveals it. And therefore, she incites the very vision that you use to see. She incites the men to say, we want more. So we have to realize that we have to put things together, and Yahweh God is working with us, and He's doing a beautiful job. When I study this book, I study the very course of what humanity has to come. This is the total blueprint. No matter what, I know that I'm going to win. And I can't lose this, because Yahweh, He has put in place everything that will be in place. He has put in place. So when we go into Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 14, we read the words of our God that is strongly put on these pages. What does it say?
Sing, O daughter of Zion.
Sing, O daughters of Zion. Aren't we the children of Zion?
Shout, O Israel. Be glad and rejoice with all the heart, O daughter of Jerusalem.
O daughters of Jerusalem.
Yahweh hath taken away thy judgments.
Yeah, our judgment has been taken away.
He hath cast out thy enemy.
Oh yeah, that enemy, that terrible one that has totally afflicted us behind closed doors.
The King of Israel, even Yahweh, is in the midst of thee.
That's right, mate. Yahweh is in the midst of us going,
thou shalt not see evil anymore.
No more shall we see that evil that has been perpetrated by our misconduct to have the enemy come in onto us. Praise Yahweh.
In that day it shall be said to Jerusalem, fear thou not, and to Zion, let not thy hands be slack.
Yeah, in other words, come forth and work. Don't hesitate. Come forth, because fear has been put in your heart. But Yahweh said, don't let your hand be slack. Come forward. Go ahead.
Yahweh thy God is in the midst of thee is mighty. He will save. He will rejoice over thee with joy. He will rest in his love. He will joy over thee with singing. I will gather them that are sorrowful for the solemn assembly who are of thee, to whom the reproach of it was a burden. Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that helped thee, gather her that was driven out, and will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. And that time I bring you again, even in the time that I gather you. For I will make you a name and a praise among all people of the earth, when I turn back your captivity before your eyes, said Yahweh. So Yahweh God has said these things. See? And those that are wise that have read it, he said, I'm going to turn back your captivity right before your eyes. This book is a great book.
And you need to be comforted in this book. And the wisdom in this book. And it takes the time it is taken. That's why Yahweh is giving wise teachers that are honest. Not taking filthy money to teach, but to teach from the heart. That Yahweh will put in the heart. It says so that they will be able to rise. And you shall arise and declare them to their children, that they may set their confidence in Elohim and not forget the works of Elohim, but keep his commandments. See, he said, who shall arise? What person, what family, what who shall arise and tell the kids it's all right? It ain't bad. Sit down. This is more to your time because your God is in the midst of you, and by you reading it, you will see and be able to come to an ultimate understanding of what is relative to your survival. Look, ain't nobody helping you. Ain't nobody coming to help you, black man. You can forget about it. Am I right? Am I right? It ain't coming. You ain't getting no help. You out there in a big ocean by yourself. And you can stay and you can sit yourself and sit down, but if you don't get in and pray and knock on Yahweh, God's door, for help, you're a fool. Because ain't nobody gonna help you, black man. Your help has already been prescribed in this book. That's the only help you can look for. That's why he says in Ezekiel chapter 11 verse 16, therefore say, thus said Yahweh Elohim, although I have cast them far among the heathens, and although I have scattered them among the countries, yet will I be to them a small sanctuary in the countries where they shall come. Your conduct must be approved so that the Spirit might move in. And therefore, in its so doing, you will read and nourish yourself in the absolute beautiful words that is written in Isaiah. Isaiah 40 has given you where you're at. What does it say? It's so beautiful. What does it say? 40 verse 1.
Comfort ye, my people, said Yahweh. Speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem and cry unto her that her warfare is accomplished, that her iniquity is pardoned, for she hath received of Yahweh's hand double for all her sins.
Nakamawa, Akmaya, Ya'amura, Alahaya Kama, Deburawa, Atla, Laba, Yurawa, Shalama, Wakurawa, Allah Yaha, Kayamala Aha, Tizba Aha, Kayanara Tizha, Awanaha Kaya, Akukaha, Mayada Yahawaha, Kapala Yama, Bakala, Kata'ata Yaha. That's it in Hebrew. Ain't no way. There ain't no other way. There's no other way. You must. And as it says in Ezekiel 36. Let's go back to Ezekiel 36. See, you got to give your kids something. And you got to give yourself something. Ezekiel 36 verse 8 to 11. Verse 8, 36 verse 8 to 11. 36 verse 8 to Ezekiel.
You ain't reading, you got your Bible, you don't got his Bible, don't tell me what to do. You get yours. But ye, O mountains of Israel, ye shall shoot forth your branches and yield your fruit to my people of Israel. for they are at hand to come. For behold, I am for you, and I will turn unto you, and ye shall be tilled and sown. And I will multiply men upon you, all the house of Israel, even all of it. And the cities shall be inhabited, and the waste shall be built. And I will multiply upon you man and beast, and they shall increase and bring fruit. And I will settle you after your old estate.
What did he say? And I will settle you. What? After your old estate. So these are the same people coming back. He ain't say your new estate. He said, I'm going to settle you after the old estate. Go ahead.
And will do better unto you than at your beginning. And ye shall know that I am Yahweh.
There you go. And isn't that beautiful? Oh, Lord, that's so beautiful. To hear it, to be able to live it. What is your fear, black man? Your fear can only come upon you when you what? Don't do what you've been told. But if you doing what you've been told, why fear? Y'all say, man, fear not. He said, man, leave this fear alone. He said, that ain't for you, that's for them. I hear, hey, the bridge fell down. That ain't about me. You're going to hear some horrible things coming in this earth. Horrible. But know that Yahweh God is freeing you, because these people need to know that there's a God. With all their cameras, with all their ability to hear in your house and get you on the telephone, they can't see God. We're not the problem. We are the solution to bring about the positive thought and purpose. Yahweh God is going to establish us, and He's going to do better for us. So why we mustn't teach our children? We teach our children the worst that we've done so that we can come to the best and have the best for ourselves. And that comes through your conduct. You can't get this being nasty. You can't get this being slick. You have to learn to walk through the earth properly. Yahweh demands that of you. And therefore, may Yahweh bless us and keep us and strengthen us. And may all the things that you pray, may Yahweh hear you. And may you set strong in the spirit of our God. Yahweh Halahayama. Yahweh Halahayama. Yahweh Halahayama. Yahweh Halahayama. Yahweh Halahayama. May Yahweh bless each and every one of us. May the Spirit of our God rest. May His Spirit rest upon us. May we truly strive for the perfection. May the Spirit of obedience be upon us. May we take our ways of wickedness, our ways of disorder, and put it on the throne as a sacrifice, that we might come into righteousness. May Yahweh have mercy upon us as He has continuously. Amen. Amen. My enemy, this is worse than my enemy. This is my family member that has no compassion on me. That in His wealth of His kingdom, He has shared it with everybody that have sat at His table. And He has neglected His family member, me. You understand? That's the heartbreak of it. He has slandered His own mother's child. He has gone forth in the world to make a mockery of us. And we are kin one to another. When you read and you tell him, I'm your brother, I'm not a stranger, you have made it a strange. You have made us strange by your treatment. Even if you didn't want to do or give me anything, you've been so harsh to me. Yahweh God wants us to understand this. This is not a stranger. This is your brother, your twin brother. And when we go back to Rebecca, two nations are in that womb, two manners of people. But they would be brothers. And they were twin. They were an identical twin. They were twins that they were in the womb together. And when we read the story of Esau and Jacob, they're brothers. They're family members. And your brother Esau has not been very kind. So I just want to point that out so that we will understand that we don't fight against a stranger. We fight against